2024 coming to an end. It's been a year. And I apologize if this video is a little rambly or incoherent, I guess, because I'm just kind of doing this off of a whim. Because I saw some people, start gathering their thoughts of 2024, and it kind of hit me, or not necessarily thoughts, but like talking about, because we're getting to the end of the year, everybody's talking about, their greatest achievement in 2024, their favorite moment. It's like, I don't really have that this year. Like, I got to thinking about it. It's like, yeah, I had good times, but nothing that stands out to me as my favorite moment. And I guess because of that, not to say because of that, but before I get into that, it gives get a bit of background. 2024 honestly might have been, I don't say the worst year, but definitely a down year for me. I mean, it's a year where I was fighting burnout constantly. Like, I'm sure if you guys followed me for the longest time, you'll know we haven't been uploading stuff to share screens, and it's everybody always says on that, or the team says, like, I lost my creative drive, but the team always says that those shared screens wouldn't exist without Alec, and there you have it. Like, I lost my creative drive, and we're just not uploading anymore. And I do feel bad about it, but it's like, when there's just no drive to create anything, like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna force it. That's just bad content. But on top of the burnout, and it's nothing to do with any of them, no ill will whatsoever. It's just, it became because I had a couple people leave shared screens, and one of them helped out a lot with the editing. So I was able to take some time away, but because I was the main editor for a good chunk of the year, we had to kind of restructure how we do things, because I was the one that had to take the big edits. And it felt bad when I was always burned out, because I just didn't have the time or motivation to work on things, so things just didn't get done. But then on top of that, in May, I had a bunch of car troubles. So one week it started off with a flat tire, and it wasn't just a little leak in the treads, it was in the sidewall, of course. And because I have an all-wheel drive car, they had to replace all four at once. So that was $800 unexpectedly. Then literally the next week, I was driving home after work, after I did some grocery shopping, and my car started on fire as I was driving. So that was a real fun Friday evening. Turns out the radiator just exploded. Not saying exploded, but just something tore the radiator, tore some transmission lines, and that's what caught on fire. And so that was another $1,100 there. And then after we got the car back from that, like, oh, hey, you have a wheel bearing going bad. So that was another, they were quoting $600, but we took it to the place we normally get my car repaired at, and they at least charged us $325, but still, like, within a month, you're talking, it's $800 there, $1,100 there, so that's $1,900. You're talking over $2,000 on a car, on a 2011 Subaru Impreza. Like, come on. So I was definitely started a down portion of the year, but then, as I'm sure a lot of if you follow in the Discord, share screens Discord, I've been trying to keep better care of myself. I've been going to the doctor more. Finally went to the dentist this past year after I thought I chipped a tooth, but turns out it was just a bunch of buildup. Ended up having to get a tooth pulled out because it was so bad. And yeah, that was August, September, somewhere around there. And then that went pretty well, but still a lot of money off because insurance didn't cover it all. But luckily I have my HSA, so I'm fine there. But so I had put off putting in the entire replacement tooth because insurance didn't cover it all. So I have to wait to do that until my insurance resets back in June of the 2025. And then October. Whew. October was one hell of a month. Mostly just because I was unexpectedly in the hospital for a good 4 days. Yeah, it was just one of those times where all of a sudden I was just sitting in my apartment and felt something run down my leg and looked down and there's just pools of blood there. It's like, oh, that's cool. So I get some Band-Aids, put that on, and every so often, every couple hours, 2-3 hours, I was replacing it. I was still bleeding, so didn't get much sleep that night, unfortunately. And next morning, I went to urgent care. Turns out they kind of figured I had a bad infection, so went to emergency. And yeah, I'm sure you guys know the rest, but if you haven't, there was an abscess in my stomach, in my lower abdomen. But I got a big old gut, so it was in there, and they had to do surgery to extract some of that fluid out. So that was a real fun couple of days. Wednesday was the worst, obviously, because I went in on a Wednesday morning and didn't get out till about Saturday, just before 11, I want to say. Because I remember I was back in my apartment just before noon. But, yeah, it was one hell of a year. It's just, I honestly don't know what to say. Other than, I know it's a down year for me, and that I was in a very dark place for a lot of it. And I know it affected my friendships, and for that, I'm really sorry. I don't really know what else to say, but I was neglecting relationships. I was neglecting family. I was in a dark place. That's not like me. You guys who know me know that try to be a beacon of positivity and happiness and try to always be smiling. And it's just one of those where I've always been that person where I can tell you, you can come to me with whatever issues. If you just need somebody to vent to, just somebody to lend a listening ear, I'm your guy. And it's been hard for me to really open up to others. There's a few people that I know I can do that to, or do that with, but I try not to because I always feel bad that I'm unloading. And that's part of the reason why I just put the venting channel in the Shared Screens Discord, just because that's a place for me just to let things out, because it's better to let some of those thoughts out rather than just letting them bubble up. It's part of the reason why I did this video, because I don't really know what else to do. I know there's therapy and all that, but I don't got the time or money for that. Just being honest. But all this to say, yeah, 2024 was not my best year, but things are looking up. Got healthy, got in the process of getting the weight down through exercise, and then talked to my doctor back in November about potentially getting some surgery to get the weight loss down. And yeah, still waiting to hear back and see where steps to go from there. So we will see. But other than that, I've gotten a bit of the creative drive back. So whether it be through maybe some streams or maybe some videos or even podcasts on shared screens, we'll see. This sky's the limit. But 2024 was definitely down, and it definitely made me look inward a lot and focus on who I am and what I want. It's yeah, as much as I'd love to do the content creation thing full time, I would absolutely love to, but on top of a full-time job, I just do not have the time or energy to be able to commit as hard as I was to doing the content creation game. So it's not going to be super frequent, but it's not going to be super rare. I'm going to try to be somewhat consistent, maybe once a week, maybe once a month for videos or streams, but they'll come when they come. And I just want to say thank you guys all, for great 2024, the parts that were great. Because it wasn't always all bad. I had a lot of great times. It wasn't all like any one big moment. I'll say it's always the little things, like hanging out with friends in Discord, just playing some games, or just playing games. Just sometimes you're just sitting there chatting, and those are some of the best memories I always have with hanging out with friends. In fact, it's some of those people I've never even met. I think the only person I actually met through my online friends is Chris, aka rambled, and man, he and I, it's like some of these friends are some of the best friends I've ever had. Like, you guys know who you are, and I truly appreciate you all for helping me through some of these dark times this year. So yeah, I said 2024 was a bit down, but 2025 is looking great. So see you guys next year, and I hope you all have a happy new year.